Good morning and happy Tuesday, March 24th. We are ongoing our live streaming series here this week. And today I really wanted to talk about two things. It's going to be a much shorter episode than yesterday. Um, Two things, though. A couple of my favorite streams I ever did. And then also, I kind of want to talk a little bit about my strategy. So, a lot of people just kind of come into live streaming and they just hit the button and they just kind of float around with me. It was a little bit different. So I kind of want to talk about what my mindset was going into each and every, live stream. But let's start with a couple of my favorite streams that I did throughout the years. And there was a lot of them. I love the ones that made it a little bit more unique. So there's a couple that really come to mind, and for some reason, one of the first ones that comes to mind, which I think a lot of people really enjoyed, was uh, the boats and trains stream. So basically, all I was allowed to ride that day was boats and trains, and I think I put that one on my YouTube actually as well. So it's actually somewhere on here if I remember right. It's like a 5 hour stream, but I always remember that one. It was like the dead middle of summer too, so it was like super hot, and yeah, all we did was boats and trains, and that was a lot of fun. Um, the Another one that comes to mind, and we did this a few times, was the collabs that I did with Phoebe in Walt Disney World, where we would basically go side by side, and I would show Disneyland, she would show Magic Kingdom. We did it also where she was at Animal Kingdom, and then also one of the night after hours events at Magic Kingdom. And like we did like side by side rides where we were on the same ride at the same time, and like we were showing comparisons of the two parks. That was one of my favorite streams actually, because it just showed the differences between the parks. There was a lot of collaboration, a lot of going back and forth. Um, it was really cool that I was able to bounce off of somebody. I think she's a lot more knowledgeable than me, so it was really cool bouncing off of somebody and kind of going back and forth. Um, you know, we're both very passionate about the theme park, so it's like it was great to show the comparisons, and I think the audience, you guys, really enjoyed um, that stream or those streams that we did. Another one that comes to mind, and this one was early in my days, and this one didn't like wasn't planned or anything like that. It just kind of happened, and I remember getting a lot of feedback, and I was like, "Oh, that was really cool." Um, so my friend Chris, Scare Ventures, this was probably 2022, I would say, at some point. He just kind of tagged along, and like we were just kind of walking around while I was streaming, but it turned into almost like a podcast type situation where we were just kind of back and forth talking about the theme park while going on, like going from ride to ride, and things like that. Uh, Once again, it was really cool bouncing off of somebody, and just talking theme parks in the parks while dealing with the audience, and it was like a really cool collab that just kind of fell into place, but also answering questions from you guys. You guys were engaged. Chris was there. It was really kind of cool how it all came to be. Um, those were probably some of my favorites. I mean, I love the marathons. The marathons were always a good time. Splash Mountain marathons, the or Gadget Coaster. That was a lot of fun. Grizzlies ones were always a good time. Um, the ones where I really collaborated with other people, though, those are the ones that come to mind. Um, and some of my favorites, I would really have to say. Um, Working together as a team and bouncing off of each other. And that's kind of what I'm hoping with, this. I really want to start bringing on people and talking to them about theme parks and, everything that they enjoy. I think I really enjoy bouncing off of people and different creators and, collaborating. Some of my favorite streams have to go in that category. There was and I will say this: there was a lot of moments, lists and lists of moments that forever stick with me. Um, between like Hannah User Science and the IHOP moment, and there's so many moments that happen throughout my streaming times that are just fantastic. I can't name them all. There's just too many. But I just wanted to name a few of my favorite streams there. Um, I think those are the ones that kind of stand out. And the first one was always very special to me as well, just from the aspect of I didn't know what I was really doing. I just kind of hit the button. And I'll kind of go into that on another time. But um, the first one was great, and uh, yeah, yeah. So those are a couple of my favorite streams. If you remember any of my streams and you think it was your favorite, comment down below what your favorite stream was, or it could be from a different creator as well. Um, but now I'm going to kind of transition into my strategy. So a lot of people when they come into live streaming, and it's kind of the same. It took me about 8 months to really kind of establish my strategy in a way. Um, a lot of people just kind of hit the button in the theme park and they're floating around and everything like that. Um, and with me, I began tracking everything that I was doing. Massive Excel sheet, basically, breaking down what order to do rides, what's the best way to ride certain things. I basically tried to become an expert within the parks of, what's the best order to ride stuff to get the most bang for my buck, before 11, 12 o'clock. Um, that's why I really started. Oh, actually, going back for a second, those challenge rides, the 15 and 1, that was also a great stream, fantastic stream. Um, Sorry, I had to bring that up really quick. 15 and 1, that was a great one. 15 rides, one show before 11. Uh, but yeah, no, I started putting together like a full strategy and kind of started treating rides and attractions like a baseball lineup almost in a way of like, all right, you're hitting lead off, you're gonna hit third, you're gonna hit fourth. I had generally the first hour pretty well mapped up every single day of like, okay, we're gonna do this, 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 and this, and it was basically based off of obviously lines, but what you guys really enjoyed, like what you guys wanted to see. So you guys probably saw Big Thunder a lot right off the start. It was Big Thunder, Haunted, Splash Mountain when it was there. Now Tiana's, Winnie the Pooh. A lot of people love Winnie the Pooh. Pirates of the Caribbean. Those really, really dominated the beginning parts of my stream. Indiana Jones. A lot of fan favorites. A lot of ones that were easy to show in the morning. Some in certain cases because you guys really love them, but on top of it, they're just not as popular. Splash Mountain obviously not as popular in the morning. Winnie the Pooh not as popular in the morning. Um, Pirates most of the time in the morning could be pretty close to a walk on. Pretty easy to I've talked about my breakdown of how I filmed Pirates. I tried to get on as much stuff possible that it was quick to get on. You guys really enjoyed. And then also sticking to my golden rule of, trying not to disturb the paying crowd that is around us as well, and that kind of helped as well in that aspect. Um, so I always kind of had a strategy, kind of saw what you guys. It was basically all off of what you guys loved and what you guys wanted to see. So, like for example, a lot of people would always request Space Mountain, but like that was a horrible experience for you guys. And that's horrible. It was bad to film. It was kind of bad all the way around. Long line. It was not a good one because there was nothing for you guys to see. It was just kind of noise of Yeah, it was darkness. So I didn't really show that one very much. Matterhorn was another good one, single rider. Usually got the sixth row, so that was super easy just to kind of hide in the back and not disturb anybody. Um, Small World, another one, really easy. A lot of those Fantasyland rides, for the most part, you're getting your own cart. Um, so yeah, they're easy to kind of move around. But I always kind of came in with the strategy of like, okay, cool. What do you guys want to see? What is what you're wanting to focus in on, and mapping it together and being like, okay, how can I as quickly as possible get on these rides, um, while also respecting the crowds around me. Um, and in certain cases, I feel like I did a pretty good job of that. I feel like I did my best to show what you guys wanted to see, and also you know, avoiding lines was the big one because I never had DAS or anything like that. I saw the park as a almost like a video game in a way of like, okay, where are the short lines going to be? Use single rider to the fullest, and just use my knowledge of the park of like, okay, we can get here, 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 and here, because I didn't want I wanted to give you as many rides as possible on any given stream. That was always the goal. Showing the atmosphere, obviously, of Disney and everything like that. But I did realize that, and this is bad news for this podcast, because I'm talking. The more I talk, the more I show my face, probably the worse it's going to do. It's probably just the truth. That's the sad reality of it. Not that good looking of a dude. Um, just me. So, and believe me, people want to see Disney. So this is probably, this is my realization of this is probably doomed because no one wants this. For 11, 12 minutes into this at this point, there's no one watching. So, hello to nobody watching. Uh, there's my realization that, yeah. Well, we'll see. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see who's still watching. But I was always under the understanding belief that while streaming, people just wanted to see Disney. Don't talk Sean. Show as many rides as possible. Show the characters. Take the routes that show as many cool things, stores. Just the overall atmosphere. If you guys remember, I used to always end the stream where I would just go quiet for the last 5 minutes, and just kind of let you guys listen to the music and the ambiance of Disney, so you can just kind of feel the vibes. I always said this, and I still believe this to the day. I believe Disney needs some sort of a live presence, live streaming. I don't know what the future of live streaming is going to be. They may ban it, they may get rid of it, and all that stuff. I feel like the live presence of it, though, is really, really cool. I said this back in 2022. I believe Disney should probably launch a division or something like that that has a live presence within the parks. Probably would be no one that's live streaming currently. They would go get people that are professionals, really good at it. Some people, people that can really connect with the audience and stuff like that. People that are very knowledgeable. Definitely not someone like me. Someone much younger, much more good looking. But I do believe Disney should launch a live presence because I think it is very cool. Me being here in Arizona, when I do fall upon a live stream at Disney on TikTok while I'm here, I do look at it for a few minutes, see what's going on, because it is really cool just to get a live view. It really kind of feels like a sporting event of like, all right, what's going on there? It's much different than the posted. It's much different than the vlogs because they're delayed. Um, I know everyone's different. I'm just not much of a vlog watcher because it happened for me in the past. It happened even if it was 8 hours ago. It came, it went, it's gone. The live is live, and it's like, oh, cool. Indiana Jones is a 15-minute wait right now. Oh man, I wish I was there. It doesn't feel the same when I see it on a vlog of, oh, Indiana Jones was 15-minute wait 8 hours ago. It just doesn't have that same effect for me. And I might just be very unique. There's something very special about the everything's happening in that moment. So, I do think Disney should start something with live streaming, but they're running it. They go get people that are really good at it. There are live streamers that are very good at live streaming, but also be real. And I don't know if that would ever happen. So, just want to say, I came in with a strategy of like, hey, let's do these things. Let's try and get as much possibly done that we can. I was really lucky that I was at Disney and DCA a lot during those years, and I really got to know the parks well, and really tried to highlight as much as I possibly could with what you guys wanted to see, and really cranked it out. I think that's all I got for this episode. So we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. We'll continue the live streaming series tomorrow.